We're in Springfield, Massachusetts today, visiting the four Jewish cemeteries that adjoin each other. And we're in front of the outdoor chapel that is for all of them, but it's in the Beth Cemetery. It was built in 1927. Remember, these cemeteries started out in the year 1891. So this came much later when the Beth was already bought. And you're looking at the year up there, but you also see an entablature which gives a name, Beth Sisterhood. So a group within the Beth Synagogue of Springfield wanted to have a nice chapel out here to have a place where the deceased can have one last time where being prayed to by the many Christians that come out to visit during that religious ceremony. They could go in here and give that one last visit. It has a nice chapel look. It has a beautiful cupola on the top of it, and it partly was made out of copper, as you can tell by the green. And on the bottom you have some Flemish bond brick, and otherwise it's patterned. So it's very nice all around. Sadly, they had to board up the stained glass windows, or else it would have been even nicer. All right, to our immediate left there is a little park, and so the mourners could come visit. The mourners could come visit either before or after the ceremonies and say a prayer for the deceased and so forth. It's a nice place to come visit, 4 benches, and you're seeing, or it's on the touching 2 different cemeteries of the 4 that are out here. Now remember, this temple is put here for all the cemeteries, and I'll list them for you. The Beth Israel, which was the first one out here in 1891. The B'nai Jacob, which was the second one out here in 1893. The Kodomo and the Beth El. Now, we're going to go up to the memorial area now. We're in front of this memorial area here. There's the big display, but there's also a display of flat stones in front here for you. So they're in 2 different locations. All right, now the memorial says on it, it says, erected in memory of those who gave their lives in World War II. At rest here, Merrill Hertzmark and Ronald Kundel. Beth El Memorial Lost in Action. Herbert Cohn and Harold Rabinowitz. And their flat stones are right in front, so you get to read them. Right? This is the one for Harold Rabinowitz right here. And then the one for what the color, I don't know where it is. Somewhere so flat. Okay, so these have been put here as a memorial for all those lost, but especially for in all wars, but especially for the ones that were parishioners or part of the congregation of the Beth El. Now the Beth El itself is located in Springfield, Massachusetts. They might have their cemetery out here, but their actual their actual synagogue is in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, it was not one of the first, but the other 2 cemeteries out here, their synagogues were the first 2, the Beth El and the B'nai Jacob. Right? So the Beth El came later, and okay, so let me give you a little bit of what their history is. They do have their own webpage, they still exist. And the organization started in 1913. They had their first building in 1918, and now it's 154th Pleasant Avenue. And a few years later, they got their own Hebrew school, the Forest Park Hebrew School. But that Hebrew school wasn't needed for very long, because in 1937, United Hebrew School was made on Oakland Street. That building is still there on Oakland Street, but it's not used as a Hebrew school anymore. And so Beth El was going full blast by 1918, only 5 years after they started up an organization. In 1916, they bought out this part of the cemetery from the Beth Israel because they needed it. And then they expanded from here. They were the most successful Jewish synagogue in Springfield. They were so successful that they moved in 1953 to Dickinson Street with a nice temple. But that one burned totally, and then in 1968 they rebuilt it, and that's still there and going strong. And you can tell by how many parishioners are buried out here. Of the 4 congregations buried here, the Beth El is by far with the most. All right, and so we're going to do a couple of panoramics. And up this road, you're going to see more extent of the Beth El. The best thing to use is my website. I'm going to have maps, or click on maps, where you can actually go out to each different section. I believe there's 3 total sections to the Beth El. All right, and then the more modern part is down this side right here. And we talked about the outdoor chapel and the gates. And then the little park down here is a beautiful addition to the Beth El. You can see not only have the most part of the cemetery, they have the chapel and they have the park. A great contribution, and their temple is gorgeous. Okay, then we see here the modern section, the old section of the B'nai Jacob is over there, and then the cemetery Beth Israel that first started out here, and then beyond that is the St. Thomas Cemetery, and then we're back to the Memorial Stone. So we're going to do one last panoramic for you. Thank you.